안녕하십니까. 저는 Vincent Brooks 대장입니다. 반갑습니다. Let me just say thank you very much for including me in this Global Peace Foundation discussion on the U.S. Republic of Korea Alliance for Free and Unified Korea. What an important topic for us to be discussing. I'm sorry I can't do that in person with you, and so I hope that you'll accept this recorded message that shares some of my thoughts on this particular and very important theme. There can be no doubt that there remains a great and yet unfulfilled desire to see a free and unified Korean peninsula. That was the hope of the defensive actions by United Nations Command in 1950 to 1953. That was the hope even of the signing of the armistice in 1953. But as my predecessor, General Mark Clark, said, we can't be satisfied with the armistice. The objective is a lasting peace on the Korean Peninsula. And it's very clear that that has yet to be fulfilled. Indeed, it's often questionable whether we're getting closer to that opportunity or further away from it. I happen to be of the view that we remain close but distant. And there still is a great distance between North Korea and its ambitions and South Korea and its ambitions and capabilities. And certainly when we add the alliance as a factor on top of that, there's a significant distance between the Korea-US alliance and North Korea. There are matters of human rights that cause this distance to be acute. There are matters of security, as we see in recent demonstrations of military capability by North Korea. We see that in harsh language that comes from Kim Jong-un himself, or more recently from Kim Yo-jong, his sister. And all of these things seem to indicate that the distance is widening. And yet, and I'm in a limited view of this in terms of others who might agree with me, or many will disagree with this point, what we have not seen is North Korea absolutely foreclose the door to dialogue and discussion. Indeed, in many ways, they seem to be taking actions right now to draw attention so that they can be in the best possible position and possibly for the opening of dialogue once again, as we saw in the season of symmetry in 2018, especially. That door is not closed, but getting to that door and being able to move through it, I believe, calls for a strong posture by the Korea-US alliance. North Korea, and I would add others like China and Russia, will seek to weaken the linkage between South Korea and the United States. They will do that by creating issues on matters that should otherwise be resolved. They will do that by putting pressure on matters of security, matters of economy, matters of policy. As we stand on the threshold of a new administration in the Republic of Korea, the Yoon Suk-yeol administration, it is likely to take a different direction in many ways from the Moon Jae-in administration. But certain things will be common. North Korea will be common. And North Korea is trying to pressurize the situation already, even before the inauguration, realizing that perhaps if they do, they can discredit the Moon Jae-in administration and put pressure on the Yoon Suk-yeol administration and as well on the alliance relationship with the United States, trying to determine a way ahead and what to do in addressing this very difficult problem in North Korea. So North Korea will still be there, even as the administration changes. It's very important that the alliance is strong so that it cannot be fractured by these external pressures, including those from North Korea. The alliance has to be militarily strong, but it has to be larger than the military alliance relationship that is its real core founding. It must also be strong economically. It must be strong in international relations. It must be able to act on matters of common interest anywhere on the globe. And that includes with the application of sanctions or the demonstration of presence and resolve or the approach to foreign direct investment, like in the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. The Korea-US alliance has to be strong and accelerating in its reach around the world in order to put North Korea into the greatest difficulty where they cannot fracture it, no matter what they do, no matter what level of demonstration they go to, even nuclear testing. So this is the first and most important aspect, a very strong Korea-US alliance. But there has to also be an expectation of the need to take risk in order to open the door to dialogue. The stronger party has to take some risk. And the alliance, in my view, is by far the stronger party. And you can do that by any measure. North Korea may have a larger military in raw numbers, but they are nowhere close to being as capable as the Korea-US alliance when they operate together, especially after times of mobilization. North Korea does not have much that they can offer to the world. And South Korea and the United States, especially when together, have much to offer the world. So the alliance is the stronger pairing as we think about the relationship with North Korea. And that means that the stronger must be prepared to take some degree of risk in order to take steps toward North Korea. Now, I don't want to presuppose what those might be. This is for the two governments to discuss, and they should be very creative about it. Not just the traditional ideas of sanctions relief, as North Korea might ask at the outset, but a more thoughtful approach that addresses the deep security concerns of North Korea, especially their economic security. How will that be addressed by the alliance? And if we want to see a free and unified Korean peninsula, that must be addressed at some point in time. So the goal remains very clear. The desire for that free and unified Korea is in everyone's foresight. And yet the way to get there remains extremely complicated. I'm hopeful that this panel discussion and this conference being held by the Global Peace Foundation will help us to think through new and creative ways to get to those deeper security concerns of North Korea and indeed begin to move toward the reality, the fulfillment of a free and unified Korea. Thank you very much once again for the opportunity to comment, and I wish you great success in this conference. And we also wish for great success in the achievement of a free and unified Korea. 감사합니다. 같이 갑시다.